All right, you ready for a giant apology video for all these stupid NBA predictions I made before the season? Well, this isn't it, you jerks! No, it's not. This is just the 10 biggest surprises, okay? And that doesn't mean teams like the Pelicans or the Timberwolves or the Kings, because we knew they would suck. This is just more of like a celebration of all the players and teams that have defied the expectations. And we're starting at number 10 with Scotty Barnes. I am so glad that we were wrong about Scotty Barnes. This dude is a grown man in year one. He leads all rookies in points and boards and defense. He's top 5 in assists. The Raps look so smart not drafting Jalen Suggs. Mini Kawhi? Maybe. But number 9, Evan Mobley, is even better. This guy will be a championship level player in the future. I guarantee it. His block on Jason Tatum the other night was amazing. His defense overall and his versatility on offense, despite being 7 feet tall, is so hard to find. I think Detroit should have taken him number 1 overall. Normally, big men take a few years to develop, but Mobley has sped up the Cavs rebuild. And they're a sneaky playoff team when you add in Darius Garland's leap and Ricky Rubio's leadership. Number 8, Miles Bridges. Most people say most improved, or is he? Miles is averaging career highs across the board, but that includes minutes, so naturally you would expect his numbers to go up. The thing no one really talks about is how inefficient he has been. Miles is way below average from 2 and from 3 this year. He's already missed more free throws in just 14 games than he did all of last season. The Hornets are way better with him on the court, so I'm not like hating on his game here, but people need to slow down on like Miles Bridges all-star talk. One underrated storyline though is his contract. The Hornets lowballed this dude $60 million in the offseason. He is about to cash in. It is the straight bet on yourself feel-good story here. He is going to make the Hornets regret not offering him just a little bit more money last offseason. Next up, the loser Lakers. I thought the Russ deal was bad, but not this bad. They are 8-7 with one of the easiest schedules in the league. Anthony Davis, okay, takes a lot of the blame because he is proving that people are right. He is not a number 1 option. But Russ makes you go, Things that make you go, He is shooting 29% from 3, 55% at the rim. Both are way below average, which wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't taking the 3rd most shots on the team. And you know, LeBron's been out like over half the year, so really it's like the 2nd most shots on the team. Dude needs other people to shoot, because he can't. Also, his defense is god-awful. For example, he is allowing guys to shoot 38% from deep. That is 5% higher than average. There's an advanced analytics site called 538 that only gives the Lakers a 38% chance of making the playoffs. That is insane. Next up, long shot Lonzo. Dude is having the best 3-point season he has ever had in the league. 44% from deep, making over 3 trays per game, which is top 10 in the entire league of like 450 of the best players in the world. My only concern though, and I'm not hearing enough of this, I think he's becoming too much of a 3-point specialist. He is taking most of his shots from deep for the 2nd year in a row. As a rookie, he took 51% of his shots from 3, then 48%, then 56%. Last year, 63% of all the shots he took were from 3, and this year, 61%. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great that he is making a lot of them, especially with all the space he has with DeRozan and Levine and Vooch on the court. Okay, he's got more space to make them, right? But if Lonzo is supposed to be a point guard, how is he going to get better in the half court? Like, if he never shoots inside the arc, Zoe can't drive and kick because the defense knows, look, he's not going to score. So we can just stay at home on the shooters around him. Zoe's half-court offense has been really bad the last few years, and this is a big reason why. His offense is becoming too one-dimensional. I love the trays, but I also want Zoe to keep the defenses honest so he can be a better point guard. Next up, a bad surprise, Damian Lillard. It has come out that Dame is dealing with an ab injury, so he does have an excuse. But 28% from 3? What is going on? They keep telling us, oh, Dame's a ticking time bomb. He could go off at any minute. We're still waiting. He's also been affected by the rule changes. I mean, people talk about James Harden, okay? But Dame, from 7.2 free throw attempts last year to 3.2. That is worse than Harden. People are all over the beard, but Dame is a bigger bad surprise, seriously. Next, my man DeMar DeRozan. I made a whole video on this, basically apologizing, and I'll link that at the end of this video. But the point is that DeMar is having his best season ever. Okay, he is more motivated than he was in San Antonio, which I totally understand, and he has never had this many great teammates around him. Before we get to the top 3, this video is sponsored by mybookie.ag. The thing that makes them my most favorite book on the internet is their bonuses. So first of all, you can double your deposit if you use the promo code AMHOOPS. It helps out the channel a ton, and literally you'll get twice the money that you put in, which is amazing. They also have these weird random bonuses that come out of nowhere. Like, they will just randomly give me money. Like when the NBA season started, they were like, here's 20 bucks just for no reason, just because you signed up here. No one does that. And what I'm doing right now, and I know you're not gonna believe this, but this will prove that I've really turned the corner on the Bulls. I am just riding their hot streak to W's, right? Like against the Clippers, take the points. Against the Lakers, take the points. It's working so far. Also, offense is way down around the league this year. You can beat the book by picking the under. But don't just take my word for it. Go to mybookie.ag, use my promo code AMHOOPS. It helps support the channel, helps support your bankroll. You can bet it anytime, anywhere with your favorite league, MyBookie. Thanks guys so much for sponsoring today's video. What about the Warriors? I did not see the Dubs having this good a record this early on. Now, I have called them a fraud before this season, and I think my man, E-Man, may have been subtweeting me with this. Quote, Warriors haters, y'all need Steph to play at an MVP level in order to win and be contenders. How do you think we won the chip in 2015? Who'd have thought your best player needs to play high-level hoops? Huh. Well played, actually, E-Man. That's a really good tweet. But did you see the end of the Charlotte loss? I was super concerned that the Hornets were able to easily just double team Steph all fourth quarter because they're not afraid to leave his teammates open. But that was just one game. Their win over the Nets showed us if Klay comes back even at 75%, then maybe this is the 2015 season all over again. A team that no one believes in, that plays great defense, unselfish basketball. I do think that regular season defense is overrated because it inflates records. Everyone plays good defense in the postseason. But I am officially ready to admit I was wrong about the Warriors being a fraud as long as Klay looks like himself later in the season. The number 2 surprise is the bad Bucks. They are proving one thing about last year's chip. You can't win with injuries to some of your best players. The Bucks have been missing Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton most of the year. Kind of like, I don't know, the Nets missing Kyrie and James Harden, or the Lakers missing AD and LeBron's ankle, or the Clippers without Kawhi, right? I'm actually not really worried about the Bucks, even blowing a 14-point lead to the Hawks the other night, but I still believe there's no chip without more star injuries than we've ever seen in NBA history. And people say all the time to that argument, oh, every champion gets lucky. Yeah, not like last year. The best thing about Milwaukee has been Grayson Allen's season, but with the East this deep, we'll see how good the Bucks really are when the playoffs come. But let's end on a high note. My number 1 surprise is the Wizards. DC is first in the East, making Russell Westbrook look even worse somehow. The Wizards swapped a ball-dominant, bad shooter for depth and a more balanced team. Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Montrezl Harrell playing on both ends. Spencer Dinwiddie has the perfect mix of both scoring and unselfish playmaking as a point guard. If I said Bradley Beal would have his worst scoring season since his first All-Star year, you'd think DC would suck. Instead, they're making Beal happy that he has stayed loyal. Also, big shout out to Denny Avila, who is playing great on defense, and their new coach, Wes Unseld Jr., who has them here without Rui Hachimura all season. The last Washington team to start this good made the NBA Finals. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen this year, but our expectations should go way up, and the Lakers should fire their GM, LeBron James. And guys, I mentioned, first of all, by the way, like, this is the end of the video. I know it's echoey in here. I'm in my new house. I'm in a closet, but this was the least echoey room that I could find in the whole house. I know that's ridiculous. Look, I mentioned the DeRozan deep dive, looking at why he's been so good. This is exactly how DeMar DeRozan is having the best season he has ever had.